Thank you. So now we're ready to hear from Jim Traynor. Jim Traynor is a singer-songwriter, journalist, and curator of Going for the Throat, a weekly publication of cynicism, outrage, correspondence, and romance. His fourth collection of poetry and prose, Take to the Territory, is now available through Yellow Lock Press and over on the table over there. Please welcome Jim Traynor.
All right. So, is everything horrible now? I mean, outside of Boston.
Oh, yeah.
Or am I just getting too sensitive?
It's kind of horrible.
Not that being too sensitive is a bad thing. In fact, it's been the overarching goal of my life. I never wanted to be like my stoic black Irish father. He never seemed to feel anything, and I seemed to feel everything. As you should, right?
Yeah.
It's spiritually sound. The path of the peaceful warrior, our heart should continuously break.
Yes.
To hold more love, hate, smoke, sky. Tragically ironic that the longer my life goes on, the more open, ideally, I become, the more horrible everything gets. I think I mistakenly assumed my father closed, seemingly miserable. All I had to do was open and I'd be happy. Either way, here I am, out in the world, in the raw. And to further that end, I've quit all intoxicants. I quit the smoke, I quit the drink, I quit irresponsible sexual behavior. Coffee though, don't touch my coffee. And you know, without the crutch, without the perfect foil and shield of a cigarette, is there a more perfect, socially acceptable way to leave a conversation, person, situation, room? You just say, I'm gonna go smoke. I can't do that anymore. It's just like roaring up here, you know? Oh, I lost my train of thought. It's roaring up here. It's unfiltered, and you know, it makes me think of that Hunter Thompson quote, which I could never find online, but it's the truth is far more twisted than we could ever imagine. I get my feelings hurt, and I seek cover, you know. I think my father felt a lot more than he let on. I think he got his feelings hurt a lot, living this slipshod life in this roughshod world. And he did what any of us do with pain. He sought refuge. He smoked 3 packs of Marlboro Reds a day. And in this way, we are more alike than I ever could have dreaded. But I believe in a couple things. One of them is the work, right?
Yeah.
I found the work when my world fell down, and we built up another one, and we're still building. And y'all are here to celebrate the work with me. How cool is that? Thank you. The other thing I believe in, I'm going to grab my water. I didn't expect to be so dry now. The other thing I believe in, could you take one of these and pass it on? Thank you. The other thing I believe in is all of you. You know, you're here. You're ridiculously and hilariously you. And against all odds, you. And whether or not my stoic black Irish ass shows it, I treasure you. I do. Because you're here, and because you remind me of who I am. You do so willingly, you do so easily, you do so gracefully. On a late winter afternoon, Christia, is she here still? right there, said to me, "You're doing it, you're a writer." And she said so easily, and these are words that sustain me to this day. It's something that happens almost every time I hang out with Ignacio, my Mexican brother. He's not Mexican, it's a stupid joke. Brother Jacob, is a modern day prophet right here. Christine, always looking up to you for just being steeped in it, still doing it, And I want to be here for you. So give me a call. If you don't have my phone number, give me a call. We can get coffee. Thanks. Foreign. Age creeps like frost underground, freezing all the water first, out where the unbegotten lands become forsaken. Last chances punching all the tickets, firing every train from the station. I become foreign, wild, unattained. Time stretching with the long shadows, bleeding out the edges. The story weakens, the lines dull and blur. The map is useless. Moving into an arcane mythology, the pains of separation are acute, but so too bulbous, and against the skin is this extra cartilage emerging, cutting the link, devolving, running naked into the arms of the territory. Thank you, and thank you for clapping. A lot of times at poetry readings, people don't know what to do, and they react in any way you see fit. Sometimes you have to clap, These are such bummers. Brother, death keeps happening. You think it'd wake us and shake us up. Look alive, spread our arms wide for the friend. Wish we could have coffee again. Vociferate and spout off about post-punk, Lucero at the North Star, cracking pint glasses on the heads of emos and alkaline trios. The hometown was always too small. We had to get out, like the song says, before it got the best of us. I did, of course. I write this in Texas. When I get word this morning, you did too. You got out. Sweet brother, you're free. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.
Yeah. This is called 30 Mornings, and it's dedicated to my little sister Janine. So I wrote it on her 41st birthday, which is April 30th, which is the last day of National Poetry Month. I've been writing a poem every day for National Poetry Month, Handsome Dan, for the last 4 years. So this is 30 mornings. 30 mornings, like moving through 30 sick rooms, each lit up against the night with the rough music of our laughter. Between 30 lovers who've either pulled or pushed me from that deep, endless green. Between 30 cities, the ethos of the people there stacked higher and more jagged from their skylines to their junkyards. 30 moments, some in their time, hung upside down in the big bay window. Others cut too soon as life was coming in for me, their thorns cut back sharper for that cruelty. 30 of you sitting there or standing, waiting for a train, taking me in as only you can, breathing, holding exquisite you in space and matter, much as it is this love of ours. When we meet out on the street, you can tell me that you've seen her. And when we embrace, I'll be whispering his name. If they want to know, break into what's sacred and take the word at its rawest or most persecuted. If they come for the sword of truth, what should we do but plunge it deep in them? For in their heart is the song we've sung, is this laughter, this love. Deep within the heart of treachery and betrayal and lust is this confidence, this frailty. Is against stacked odds our camaraderie is what we call poetry.
Right.
Thank you. So I'm putting out a collection of poetry every year, starting in 2015 for 10 years. This is number 4. It's a little late, Charlie, but I got 2 coming out this year. The next one is a nod to, tip of the hat to singer-songwriter Nathan Hamilton, who you all need to see. He's a local guy. And he's got a great album called All for Love and Wages, and my new collection is going to be called Love and Wages. Because in the winter, I wrote all these work poems and all these love poems, and this is one of the work poems. The birds of the yard and northern corridor turn in tandem, swing and wheel in wide arcs over the cab and down below wire as I drive. They turn into the muscle of the wind, shoot up in a jet and sink like a sack of lead. Before sunrise, blackbirds shimmer in the dark. And before noon, great gray flocks are imbued in hard and soft blues. The northern corridor is a wasteland I trawl. I do what I must with them perching above me like kings, scavenging at my feet like children. Thank you. Dear Jim Trainer, thank you for sending us your submission. We appreciate the chance to read it. After careful consideration, however, we are sorry to inform you that we are unable to include it in our forthcoming issue. We would recommend centralizing core images and shortening these poems to create more vivid and lasting images in fewer words. Neither do we want to romanticize rejection, nor do we want you to feel discouraged. We, at Little Literary, have faced rejection and still do. However, it is the drive to keep creating and keep evolving that is invincible and unstoppable. Having said that, we do request you to consider submitting to us again during our next submission cycle. Thank you, best of luck. Sincerely, Little Literary.
All right.
What is this nonsense? I always bring like a folder up just to like shuffle papers. You know, it's like a part of my act or something. This is will appear in the Fredericksburg Literary and Art Review. I've had the honor and privilege to appear in their last four editions, last four issues, and it's thank you. It's a shit metaphor for old age called the night shift. End of September, and I'm driving. End of September, and I'm divining industrial parks on my way to work the night shift. The rays of sun at dusk can stretch out to their conclusion. The wide, jaunty connexes squat like cups as the night gets poured in. On my days off, I nurse cold coffee by the cracked blinds, letting in a gray and gritty light with the red dog curled in her pea-green lounge, head to tail. When I finish writing this, I'll get the mail, whether or not there is any, and I'll send some letters out. So these are my 40s. I'm satisfied, mostly, but if midlife hadn't have come with this wisdom, I might not be here at all. This wide territory within that's just shy of loneliness and not at all sane is why I take to divining things and writing it down. Though my dysfunction rages and I rehearse a tired trauma, I can still get lit up inside. Language will still clear and forage. The words can still cut. And I know that even in suffering, I'm making way for the masters. I know they're coming and that they've always been here. In youth, we have all the answers, but in life, we only find more questions. Sometimes in the dark won't be a light, and the blooms so heavy, they circle back to the ground. Thank you, I felt that one popped. I wish they could all be like that. From the mountain to the range. You know, Scooter gave me the idea for the title of this poem years ago, and it stuck as a friend of ours, and it's stuck back there, and I finally wrote it. It's called From the Mountain to the Range. Something had to give, so it did. You can't give your suffering back. You can't slide the frame of a well-adjusted life into the jagged reel of your history. Stay on the outside long enough and everything will become change. Pain will become fantastical and love very strange. Your hands will become two ships and your heart jack-o'-lantern. But if you hold, and the herd doesn't pull you into its sway, you'll earn your destiny. You'll become legend. You'll be unlikely, uncanny, able to cut through odds singularly, and leave the ignorant blinking dumb in your wake. This is what those old gods meant. Not that you'd suffer, not that you'd pay, but that you choose to. You become devotion, making that choice again and again, beyond satisfaction, unheeding recognition. You keep climbing, and when you get there from the peak, you'll be able to see the chain.
Yeah.
Thanks, y'all. I only got a couple more. Dear James, I read your latest course grind this morning and it kind of made my day. I just lost my job last week and have spent the last few days obsessing over finding new work. And just when I thought to myself, well shit, what if I get a job that starts even earlier in the morning? What if it cuts into my writing time? And what am I doing? And why am I a writer? And when will my book get published? And what is the point and what is my goal? Some way or another I came across your latest piece on Into the Void and it really felt like a sign. So what if I take this job that starts early? And if I'm losing a little extra sleep in the morning to make room for writing? If I'm not writing, what's the point? Anyway, I'll spare you all the wild, swirling thoughts this article gave me, but I feel compelled to let you know that you really did make my day and make me feel encouraged, like I am doing the right thing. This is exactly what I should be doing. Thank you for writing, Best Michelle. A return. You should remember me. I'll still be making a point standing there trying to deflect attention. You I'll recognize as the one with the face of a heart of a tiger lily. We'll get on board. The city will erode with our passing. Towers to warehouses, squat buildings to railroad roses. The car will be full of suits, looking every way but at each other. We'll look ahead, seated beside the back of the car. You'll stretch when we hit Susquehanna. I'll take off my coat and hat. The line will zip right up the border of us, not a pilgrimage. I'll remember things about you I thought I only dreamed. And the look you'll give, curled up around me, will be it. Not a journey. We'll be together again. Everybody get a little strip of paper?
Yes.
Thank you, honey. Let's hear it for Ignacio.
All right.
Should I tell him the title? You want to tell him the title of your collection? He's got a collection coming out on Yellow Art Press, which is my imprint, this fall. What is the title?
Allow.
Allow.
Awesome.
Do you need to say anything more than that? I don't think so. And Christine Chile, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for reading, you guys. Love y'all. Keep these words as roses. I intend to. When I meet the enemy, and I'm tired of fighting, too weary to give in. I know our love will be greater. I know our love will be greater. Big enough to break our hearts open. keep these words as roses. I intend to. When I meet a friend again, know that there will only so many times we'll meet, but I know our love will be greater, and I know our love will be greater, big enough to break our hearts open. Strong enough to topple them in their towers. Now let's do something fun. I'm done.
Awesome.